You're listening to Fight Knows About Everything, a Night Shift Radio original. For more information, visit nightshiftradio.com. It's Friday, March 12th, and we're going to recap the weeks. Now, before we do this, first off, I want to say thank you, everyone, for subscribing. Although if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you're now following instead of subscribing. They've recently changed that it's now called a follow instead of subscribing. Also, really important, if you are on Apple Podcasts, this is true for all of your podcasts, there will be an upcoming update that will make it so that your shows do not automatically download onto your device. You will have to specifically pick the episode that you want to listen to. So just as a reminder, if you're like, hey, that's weird, this podcast that I really like hasn't been releasing episodes. They actually have been, they just haven't been automatically downloading to your phone. So that being said, make sure to do that. And of course, for everyone watching over on YouTube, thank you very much for subscribing. And go ahead and hit that notification bell and like, comment, and subscribe. Do that thing that every YouTuber asks you to do because it is actually really helpful and we do appreciate it. Of course, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure to head over to the other channels on this YouTube channel where you can watch the Never Heard of It podcast, where myself and Caleb Coy talk about weird and bad movies. And then also keep an eye out for Show 17 for Humans, the brand new animated series from Night Shift Media Group that will be coming this summer. We have a teaser trailer released up there, and there will be some really cool stuff coming in the future. So that's going to be very exciting. And one last thing before we go, make sure you head over to nightshiftradio.com. There's a lot of great shows on our network that we would love. We would love for you to listen to. But one in specific, I really think you guys would enjoy Latchkey Kids, which hosts Sarah Sweeney. Sarah Sweeney basically, takes advantage of her internet friends by chatting with them while they're all stuck at home due to quarantine and things like that, and chats with them about their life, what they're up to, what the past year or so has been, and then also because she can, has them do a dramatic reading of a TV show theme song. Very exciting. So check out Latchkey Kids wherever you get podcasts. But let's go ahead and get into the news of the week. So as of today, if you're listening to this episode on Friday, March 12th, the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill has been signed and stimulus checks will start to be distributed. The relief bill, which not a single member of the GOP voted for, by the way, this is very important to note, not a single one, will provide much needed assistance, albeit not enough, to struggling families, businesses, and schools looking to reopen. Roughly 50% of the bill goes towards COVID-specific aid, regardless of what any GOP talking point you've had. Literally just go through the bill and add it up. It's more than 50% goes to specific COVID aid. The rest goes to other things that are also part of the pandemic and things that are very necessary at the moment. Whether it's direct payments, extending the unemployment insurance, increasing the child tax credit, PPP, mortgage and rent waiver, and a large portion to vaccine distribution support per state. It's a huge win for the Democrats and the Biden administration. Left out of the bill was the highly supported $15 an hour federal minimum wage increase, which is a really big bummer. This was very highly supported by a lot of people. Democrats really pushed for it, but this was kind of their, fine, if you're going to, go against it, we'll just pull this out. So hopefully that gets reintroduced in another date. But in true fashion, most Republican reps have already started to take credit for the thing that they opposed because, poor people. This week, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle gave a bombshell interview to Oprah about the stress and trauma they received from the firm, or the British family, detailing years of abuse and racial tension directed at Markle, with one of the family members being concerned for how dark Archie, their son's skin, would turn out. There was also claims of Markle basically being pushed to the verge of suicide, on top of all the press, the British press and all that stuff. It's a very, very crazy story. Definitely check out the interview if you're interested. A recent statement released by Prince William says, "We are very much not a racist family. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go tend to these non-white countries that we colonized and annihilated their chance for democracy for centuries. Ta-ta." Stacey Dash, best and only known for her role as Dion in the absolute classic of a film, Clueless. I still quote this film to this day, and the subsequent TV series, said she is quitting politics. The actress was known as a fervent supporter of Trump and the GOP and was hit with a large scandal after saying Obama didn't care about terrorism. That's right, President Obama, the guy who eventually found and captured and killed Osama bin Laden and then bombed multiple countries, housing those we deemed as terrorists, that guy, right? And backed Trump's statement that the members of the Charlottesville rally, mostly made of Nazis and white supremacists, were good people. She has since apologized and seen the error of her judgment. Dash was actually fired from Fox News in 2016 for being too extreme. That's right, Fox actually fired someone for being too extreme even for them. personally, I'm glad she's starting to see the vitriol she was spitting. And more importantly, I want a sequel to Clueless where they just keep asking Paul Rudd why he looks the exact same age for the past 30 years. Like, that's what I want to know. That's the story I need. So, Marjory Taylor Greene, once again in the news, this time defending her role in office, even though she's been stripped from almost every committee by an overwhelming bipartisan support, is touting that she deserves her position because she won with getting 74% of the vote. That's fantastic. 74% of the vote is great. That's like the numbers that AOC gets. But what she fails to mention is that she ran unopposed. She got 74% of the vote where no one else was voting. No one. I normally avoid calling people names, but oh my God, she is an idiot. All right, a press photo was recently released that shows Adam Driver and Lady Gaga in the upcoming film House of Gucci, coming out this November, about Patrizia Reggiani and Maurizio Gucci, about the story of Maurizio's murder by his ex-wife Reggiani. The film also stars Al Pacino, Jeremy Irons, and Jared Leto. Maurizio was left the Gucci name after his father, Adolfo, died, but was caught in a legal battle for full control against his uncle, Aldo. Who names these kids? Not related to the shoe company Aldo, by the way. The lawsuit was a huge deal in the fashion and business world and was actually taken up by then city prosecutor Rudy Giuliani. Gucci ended up selling his shares of the fashion icon to the Bahrain firm Investcorp after receiving pressure from the board and accusations of driving the business into debt, largely due to his extravagant lifestyle. Then in 1995, he was murdered by a hitman who his ex-wife, Reggiani, was convicted of hiring. You know, I can't think of anything more Gucci than disgracing my entire family, running $1 million company into debt, and then being murdered by an Italian hitman only to be played by Adam Driver in a film. Honestly, it's the way I want to be remembered too. So that's all for the news for the week, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I super appreciate it. And for more information, please visit nightshiftradio.com. And if you would like to follow me on social media and tell me topics you think I should talk about, you can hit me up on Twitter at @TheMichaelFight. Thanks a lot for joining me, everyone, and we will see you on Monday.